Hello, YouTube. I am sorry for missing last week's upload. What ended up happening was the commentary software that I use, or well, application in this case, ended up breaking down on me, so I will no longer be using it. Luckily, I found a app that I could use to use old files, so maybe I can finally get up that 30-minute video that I've wanted to do I originally wanted to do a while back. I will also be apologizing for any noises. My dog seems to think that I've gone crazy and keeps attacking me during this recording. With all that said and done, let us begin. I'd like to break today down into three major sections with a few minor points each. First off, I'm going to be covering the ghost ship, then the home country, and then the effect of alcohol on the state of the world. If I have time, I would also like to add in a few slices about the Lord of Glass himself. With all that said and done, let's get into it. So, the ghost ship isn't really a ghost ship. It's full of real living people and is actually real. And the town is full of ghosts. I've covered this before. However, it seemed a interesting and natural twist on the prompt itself. And what really drove me to this is there isn't too much media depicting how ghosts see us. They're always ethereal and stuck in a past life, oblivious to their circumstances most of the time. There are variations on interpretations. However, I only recall seeing one piece of media. It was a movie. I want to say Beetlejuice, but that doesn't seem entirely accurate, where the main characters were ghosts and they couldn't leave their house anymore. So, we always see ghosts as they once were, however mostly transparent and having aged, or sometimes they're unghastly wraiths that horrify, and a variety of other subtypes and various archetypes that can be broken down and placed in media or called by different names. However, how would a ghost see us? Would they perceive us as we perceive them? Are we children strolling into their peaceful domain? Or are we the spirits that are passing through objects and causing disruptions to their world? So, while this should certainly be an entire story unto itself, it felt like a interesting idea to play with, having the town's residents going about their seemingly normal lives, only to have a ethereal ship roll up to their coast and have agents, or well, not really agents of evil, but having ethereal agents moving through their town, combing through their things, looking for them. A sense of horror and dread overtaking. Who is this invading force? They bear the old world flag, but they're fine. They shouldn't be having to get checked up on. Everything is fine. However, as you can imagine, things very clearly aren't fine. Now then, moving on to the home country and a little bit of world building. As I have previously established, magic is fading from the world. The home country was a magical superpower. Something more akin to a Spanish style, but with the size and with the manpower of the Soviet Union. Now that isn't set in stone, but I feel like that's a rough example. Their mages were world class and could allow their ships and armies to reach places at unprecedented speeds and respond rather quickly to events that are unfolding. They were also very powerful. Now, as magic has faded from the world, their empire is slowly starting to crumble and the cracks are beginning to show. The fall is nigh, and their neighbors have begun to modernize and move forward with industry. And as the magic seeps away and eludes them, things begin to come more and more desperate. How is a magical emperor to retain his magical empire when it's all vanishing before his eyes? The only hope left is this new world that the town is set in. It's a major colony and an outpost hub connecting all the other towns and places to the empire. I'll definitely get a better name for them at some point, but since they aren't playing a major role in this short story, that might be a subject for its own world or more works to flesh it out and expand upon it. That's assuming any of you would like to see any of that. So the pressure is on. They have to make sure that these people haul out anything magical, be it the people, the ore, mana itself, ancient artifacts, anything that can be found and plundered will be sent back. It is very much like how things are done in our real world, which may make some people uncomfortable, sadly. But hey, that's to be expected, after all. Sorry for the pause. Thought I heard someone breaking in on me. Nope, fortunately not. I'm just thinking some more about the Empire and its vastness. However, I think that this may be one of those instances where it should be vague about what is known, and maybe you guys can run wild with your imaginations. You can imagine their detailed inner workings and how the courts worked, how many rulers they've had, which side of the sex issue they favor. All that's important is the end result and their precarious position in between their neighbors that are looking balefully at the empire that is rightfully, in their eyes, dominated their spheres of influence for centuries, maybe even millennia. Of course, most empires won't ever last that long, but given that it's a magical world, it certainly seems possible. With that said, it is time to move on to alcohol in this relatively short video. Our main character, as of right now, Devin, is a bit of an alcoholic. I'm sure you could tell. Of course, I do make it rather obvious, but I also didn't focus too much on it in the last video. Alcohol is something of a cynical drink. People who drink it are usually portrayed. Alcohol is either a light drink people enjoy for recreation in media, or it's a drink that causes corruption and distortion and the moral erosion of someone's fibers. And as such, a good example for the cynical side would be in Stranger Things Season 2, where we have a man, where the conspiracy theorist hides in a bunker and drinks vodka. Alcohol has a very curious interaction with both humans and our media. And as this story goes, I would like to treat it as the cynical's drink. The man who knows that something is wrong with the world and that the inevitable workings of the much larger nations and religions are doing more than what they're saying for their gain and the manipulation of the people. The world is inherently magical, and the townspeople don't know they're dead. Now, something curious that could be considered a plot hole is Devon's relationship with alcohol. As a ghost, how would he be able to drink it? How would he consume it? It could be an illusion where he's partaken in the alcohol. Of course, the only problem with said part of the illusion going that far is why would it reveal itself under the circumstances? I personally like the idea that Devon used alcohol as a crutch, and that even the veil between worlds won't stop him from trying to drown out his pain or depression or any of the other problems that he could have with a simple drink. He likes to wet his whistle with whiskey and rum to numb something. And as that something numbs, so too does the precarious world that they live in. The illusion is quickly shattering. Well, we're about to run out of time, so I'd like to take a moment and say thank you all for watching and supporting me. It means the world to me, and I really hope you enjoy this voice of mine. It's not very pleasant, sadly, and I'm going to try and work to keep improving these. However, once again, I am nowhere in that current predicament. And make sure you guys take some time. Stay healthy and make sure you aren't pushing yourselves too far or working yourselves to death. Take time, get your mental health in check, and stay safe, okay? Well, that said, I have roughly a minute to talk about the Lord of Glass. So, I put this at the end because minor footnote for right now, because he probably won't appear until much later. Residing in the Manor of Glass, he has glass servants that are meant to be a reflection of life, not actual life. To them, however, they are very much real and alive, which should create a interesting conundrum, or, well, interesting something. Although I will say this about the Lord of Glass, hopefully I can get some artwork for him, but I wouldn't count on it, is that he is a powerful godlike being. But to what extent in his powers, I'm still debating. More next time. Alright guys, stay safe. See you all next time.